Today, it is time to look at a professional Protoss versus Zerg match on the map Glittering Ashes, a highlight game recommended from IEM Katowice. In the upper right, wielding the blue probes and Nexus, it is ShoWTimE. It is ShoWTimE indeed. And the Zerg opponent in the bottom left with the red drones, always an entertaining Zerg if I say so myself, it is Dark. Both of these players, absolute championship material. The wall of Protoss, arguably one of, if not the best Protoss in the world. And Dark, absolutely one of those top tier Zergs that you always think of when you try and put your Zerg tier list together. What is your tier list? Your top 5 players? You can let me know in the comments down below your top 3 or top 5 that you always, maybe not that you think are the best in the world, but maybe the best to watch. Maybe your favorites. I think Dark is probably definitely. That's a wonderful descriptor. Way to go. Starting this one off right. Dark is in my list for that. One of the most entertaining, I think, to watch. What is going to be in store for us this game, though? Dark going for the quicker third base, huh? After checking for shenanigans? No, not really. No shenanigans afoot, though, despite there being a Protoss in the game. Terran players just, but there's a Protoss, that means there must be shenanigans. Not necessarily. ShoWTimE opening up with what looks like it's going to be a normal Stargate opener, based on the placement, yeah, and the fact that Warp Gate didn't start up right away. Very common to see Warp Gate slightly delayed to get that Stargate going for the, because you need the gas. Stargate, I believe, is the most gas expensive of the tech choices. Twilight is 150, 100. Robo's 200, 100. And Stargate's 150, 150. So yeah, you need that gas for the Stargate. Also, one of the many reasons you open up with an Adept, too, because Stalkers cost more gas. I like to open up Stalker because I am a terrible player and cannot micro Adepts to save my life, but I acknowledge that. I acknowledge my failings. ShoWTimE opening up with a Void Ray, that's how you can tell we are not on the new balance patch, if it has come out by the time this video comes out, I don't know. I don't know when that patch is coming out, but we'll have to see. Ooh, the Void Rays. How do Protoss even play without Void Rays? I don't know. Oracle follow-up while the Ovi spots exactly what is going on. Cannot hide anything from Dark so far. Dark knows he can just drone up pretty safely. No need to take the gases yet. He did spot the Oracle. Follow-up, you can zoom in, look at the Stargate, you see the outline of what it's making. He already knew about the Void Ray because it was shooting him in the face with a giant laser beam. That one's pretty obvious. You'd have to be a special kind of person to miss that one. Punch you in the face. So wait, who did that? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. We'll have to... Darn it, ShoWTimE. Okay. Alright. Air weapons and a second Stargate are on the way. Ladies and gents, I believe you know what that means. I believe now is the time that I say you pause the video, you hit like, you hit subscribe, and you go get a beverage. You go get a snack. Your favorite healthy dry snack, like maybe almonds. Do people eat almonds? I don't know. Either way, go get something, come back, and then enjoy, because we are going air mode Protoss. Sky toss, indeed. Oh boy. Alright, Dark usually, when up against Skytoss, likes Queens, likes Infestors, Viper, Corruptor, all of those yummy tools that Zerg has. He's going up to Lair Tech. I don't believe he's actually spotted. No, he has not spotted the second Stargate yet. And the Oracle has 1 kill, but it's mostly just being annoying. It's just doing some scouting, keeping Dark a little on edge, and you can tell he is a little on edge because there's a bunch of Zerglings that are doing scouting. He wants to know what's going on. He's spotted multiple Void Rays by now, which doesn't really say a whole lot other than that your opponent is a Protoss, because that's a very Protoss thing to do in the current meta, the current patch. Fleet Beacon on the way behind this. More gates. Cannons. Cannon going up at the third base. I like it. I like the idea. Adding on just a few pieces of static defense helps buy time. Static defense really can't ever stop a committed attack by any player, unless, you know, you're a gold Terran and you got 100 missile turrets in your base. That might stop something. But there are tools that can break static defense. Static D is a delay tactic. That's probably the best way I can put it. Spire on the way for Dark, so I would fully expect to see the Corruptor route taken initially. I still don't believe he actually knows. He doesn't know how committed ShoWTimE is to this, and ShoWTimE is making carriers off of 3 Stargates. I don't know how else you can spell committed. Cannon takes out the Zergling. Got some intel, a little bit of photography there by the Zergling. Alright, Dark, show me what you got. Spire finishing up. MUTAS. Ooh. Ooh, I like it. Okay. So Muta, I shouldn't be that surprised. All he's seen well, here's the carriers. I was about to say all he's seen so far are the Void Rays, and Mutas perform actually really quite well against Void Rays. I kind of like going Mutas personally up against a mass Void or a heavy Void style. It may not work in the higher numbers when you need things like Parasitic Bomb from Vipers, but Mutas, oh, lovely. Potential for economic harassment here, ShoWTimE. Likewise, prepping the Voids on the other side of the map here. Is he going to actually be able to stop this? Mutas are going into the natural as we speak. The hatchery is going to be targeted down, obliterated. And probes on fire. Acidic glaive worms are enveloping their robot bodies. Zerglings trying to get some damage done over here, but that cannon is very well protected. 20 probes have gone down to the Mutas, though. Very nice. Picking off a couple Void Rays as they head out, too. Phoenix production kicking in for ShoWTimE. That is the perfect answer. That's what you want. You want to see Phoenixes start up. Mutas don't really deal that well with Phoenix. Phoenix is kind of a strong, hard counter, simply because they outrange the Mutas, they can fire while moving, and they deal extra damage versus light targets. And Mutas are very light. They're very light. They're weightless. You can probably hold them in your hand if you have a giant hand, a Big Gabe-sized hand maybe. Phoenix is now giving chase and pulling back slightly. Dark already got Corruptors out, though. Very nice. Corruptors are a good counter from the Zerg player. Not because they, really kill the Phoenixes, because the Phoenixes can just back up. They can just retreat, but the Corruptors will zone them away, which is kind of what you want. It's kind of the best thing you can hope for when you're fighting Phoenix, is just to keep them away. Void Rays with the overcharge ability are the counter to Corruptors, though, and Zerglings get surrounded on the Archons. Beautiful. Additional charge slots warped in, though, so this attack is going to be cleaned up. ShoWTimE's going to hold the base. More Phoenixes on the way, too. Committing to the Phoenix production until he sees a real drop in the Muta count. which there's not going to be a drop in the muta count anytime soon because Dark is committing to the mutas. I like it. Muta's cleaning up these charge lots. Dark had no spines, no ground defenses here, so had to pull the mutas back. Zergling's just testing the wall. ShoWTimE. Not a noob though, not a bronze leaguer. He's got something in the wall. Oh no, the cannon. The cannon lives. The most well-protected cannon I've seen comes to within an inch of its life. ShoWTimE getting some zealots across. Don't expect to get anything done there. The big fight's over here though. Carriers in peril. Void Rays overcharging their lasers and Phoenix zoning the mutas away. ShoWTimE gets to keep it for now. You can tell Dark really wants it though. He wants to get rid of the carriers specifically. And it looks like ShoWTimE is gonna just let him. There's no more carrier production coming. Anion pulse crystals are about to finish up, giving the Phoenix their oh so pretty purple laser beam shots. I hope we get to see them. So far we've been seeing the blue lasers, but when you research the pulse crystals, they become purple. It's great. Absolutely great. Additional charge slots warped in. Probes eaten by the hungry Zerglings, the board game nobody actually wanted when they were young. Phoenixes just holding their position over the natural, keeping the mutas and the corruptors zoned away as best they can. Wall is broken. Zerglings get into the base though, and Zerglings are not. Let me rephrase that. Phoenix is not a very good counter to Zerglings. Battery overcharge used on the cannon, actually going to hold everything off there. Look at those purple lasers. That is so good. I love it. I don't know about you guys, how you feel about that. ShoWTimE. Oh. Dark broke the wall, and ShoWTimE says, fine, I don't need this stinking wall. Destroys his own gateway. This wall is useless. Just tear it down. Beautiful. A lot of corruptors. They can zone fairly well against the Phoenix, but the Phoenix don't have to fight if they don't want to. They can just kind of take some shots, back up, do some kiting, do some micro work here. Flux veins on the way, and Zerglings get into the base. Oh, ShoWTimE didn't actually want to kill that gateway. He did it out of anger. Punched his keyboard or a door. I've seen people punch doors. Not usually a recommended activity though. Corruptors get on top of the carriers and they are going to be picked off. Zerglings are cleaned up in the natural and zealots going across. The Archons prevent the corruptors from being able to move on top of the army here because Archons, they're good. Okay. You can see, look at that. The corruptors fly right over the Archons and lose half of their numbers pretty quickly. Queen's holding the line as best they can versus the charge lots. Transfuses all around. A couple did die, it looks like. Very sorry, ladies. Oh, one more. One more for the road. Additional zealots overseeing some other zealots trying to get damage done. Dark goes after the idle zealots, thus alerting ShoWTimE. Those zealots are idle. Very good. Very good. Just spreading some damage around. None of this is actually fatal or really damaging. A few drones went down, but both players are still hovering around 80 workers. I like it. This was not actually a full sky toss game. ShoWTimE's been transitioning around. He's starting up Void Ray production again, probably just to help deal with the amount of corruptors on the map, but he's kind of more committing to the charge lot Immortal Archon, which is good. That's a great composition. Dark sending his very tiny flock of mutas now into the natural. Yet again, batteries trying to get whatever done that they can, and that base is in trouble. Oh, a lot of roaches find the Protoss army over here. Phoenixes doing the graviton beam. Graviton beam? Lift? It's the lift up ability. I don't remember what it's called. Graviton something. This base is absolutely toast. The amount of Archons is strong. The Archon is strong with him. Ravagers are here biling Dark, artfully dodging his own biles. Very good, always an important skill to have. ShoWTimE, not possessing it as much, though biles are connecting onto the Void Rays. A lot of drones went down, it looked like on the left side, but Dark's gonna clean up the army here. Oh no, Stalkers. That's not a good answer. Stalkers without blink. Lucky to counter a light gust of wind if they can. More Phoenixes on the way. ShoWTimE has noticed that Dark has continued the Muta production, and he's still continuing the Muta production. What are we looking at here? 13, about to be 16, plus 49 Mutas have been lost. 1 Muta for every probe has been lost so far this game. I'm not sure that's a good trade. At least when you put it that way, when you put it on paper, that I have lost 1 Muta for every probe I have taken. I'm not sure that's good, but it's important to note, right? Seems like an important thing to note. Both players slightly going to their respective corners. Rotating around this hatch, very low, bleeding, quite bruised. Needs a band-aid. Apply pressure, duct tape. We need duct tape to fix the hatchery. Duct tape fixes everything, right? Few zealots wrapping around, just doing a rotation. Army's going to find each other. Phoenixes with their laser beams yet again, picking off the corruptors. A very ill-timed hatchery, not even going to be cancelled. ShoWTimE gets the kill. A lot of roaches gonna clean that up though. No drones were in peril, just the one that dreamed of becoming a hatchery. Overcharge used. Ooh, bit of frame drop there. A lot of effects going on all at once. More probes are killed off. ShoWTimE warping in zealots to deal with mutas and corruptors. I'm not sure that's the ideal choice, but it's a choice nonetheless. I'm not going to say how many control groups ShoWTimE is using, or if he's using the all-army hotkey. What I'm going to do instead is just point out that zealots are chasing mutas. And you can draw conclusions from that data point if you are so inclined. That zealots are chasing mutas and corruptors. Yeah, I'm not going to say anything about that. Oh, Mutaflock's been increasing again, back up to 27. I like the choice. Dark really showing that Sky Zerg, kind of feasible actually. A lot of mutas, it's costly though. And up against this many Phoenix, battery overcharge used yet again. Wasn't that thing just used? What is the cooldown on that? My word. Roach is getting the jump on some Archons over here. Meanwhile, the Sky Zerg contending with the Phoenix and the Stalkers that still don't have blink. I really don't know why he has Stalkers. Oh, the Roaches are going to be cleaned up thanks to the heavy amount of charge slots, but the mutas are on top of the production. Corruptors, this is what I was talking about. They're just zoning away the Phoenix. The mutas can get the damage done in the base. Uh-oh. ShoWTimE sending everything across. Don't zoom in just yet. Zealots on Dark side of the map getting damage done in multiple bases. Meanwhile, the mutas... Oh, is Dark pulling back? Well, mutas contending with Phoenixes. Very Phoenix-favored engagement. Drones being lost in every base, though. This is a ton of charge lots. 30 zealots are on the field. Dark brings the mutas home. Keep having to zoom back out because these battles are just so massive, so wide scale. Zealots cleaning up multiple bases. 3-4 bases total have gone down, and the spawning pool is targeted yet again. 33 drones. Wow. ShoWTimE with an excellent punch back. He takes out the Spire. He takes out the spawning pool. He takes out nearly 4 bases and 33 drones. That sets Dark back some. I'm not sure if it's a really good trade though, because ShoWTimE lost all of the Zealots, most of the Archons. The army is kind of just reset. ShoWTimE has Phoenixes, and that's about it. He's got some Zealots and a Warp Prism over here, but they're not doing much. They're just looking pretty. Dark, he bites back. He takes out 21 probes. Additional Zealots, Phoenixes are being lost as well. I'm not actually sure this is going well for ShoWTimE, despite how much damage he just got done on Dark's side of the map. What a conundrum. Zergling's gonna chew apart that base. Don't move the camera so much, Indigos. My god. Zealots moving out across the map. Where are they going, though? Oh, they're going for this base. ShoWTimE knew that Dark had to be mining from here because it was really the only base that went untouched. MUTAS return home. They should be able to save everything. I don't even think any drones were lost. That's pretty good. Zealots versus Zerglings. Like the Legacy of the Void cinematic. Very Protoss favored. Just the way they like it. Nexus going to be remade here. Again, though, the army. What are we talking about here? We've got 10 Phoenix, 9 Zealots, up against Dark's 21 MUTAS and 7 Zerglings. He didn't even remake the spawning pool. Dark remade the Spire. He's fully committing to the MUTAS, despite there being Phoenix on the map. That's a risk. That's a gamble. Although, with the Spire, you can also make Corruptors, so, you know, it might work out. It's looking like it's gonna work out so far. So far, so good for our Zerg player. Nexus killed, not cancelled. ShoWTimE, come on. You do not have enough resources to just be throwing them away like this. He can't even remake a Nexus yet. He's got long-distance mining going. Spore Crawlers, not the ideal choice versus Zealot run-bys, but probably great against the Phoenix. 12 drones being made for Dark, so he's able to take back some economy here. Phoenixes and MUTAS meet yet again, a clash on the fields. These blood-soaked fields of glittering ashes. A lot of losses on both sides. 49k to 48k. We are almost at 100,000 resources lost. And that is good clickbait material. That's thumbnail stuff there. I'm still feeling it for Dark. Even though ShoWTimE's bringing out Archons, which are an excellent choice, an absolutely marvelous tool, there's still a lot of MUTAS on the field. Archons go down very quickly. Phoenixes trying as best they can, but they can't contend with the Corruptors. It's this kind of game. You have to micro, you have to kite back and forth. I don't actually think ShoWTimE really has been making probes all that much. He's not really making much of anything at this point. He's got 400 minerals. He's going for the Nexus yet again. Okay. And he's just trying to make this work. A Phoenix charge lot build up against Muta Corruptor. It just feels like the Protoss is running out of steam. There's no tech, there's no high-end units being produced. He's just desperately trying to get a Nexus up. Meanwhile, Dark has been able to make some drones. He's finally remaking a spawning pool at the 24-minute mark. That's also pretty good. Roach Warren going down. Dark is very slowly crawling back into the game. He's climbing back up there. MUTA's chasing after the Zealots. Corruptors contending with the Phoenix. And a lot of Zerglings in production. Is the spawning pool the winning move? Oh, Phoenixes find a group of drones, unarmed and unguarded. Looks like Zealots were recalled there. Corruptors keeping an eye on the Phoenix. Meanwhile, Zerglings and MUTAS go across the map. Nexus is cancelled, and with that cancel, I think ShoWTimE's hopes are gone. Phoenix is not getting anything done versus the Corruptors. Probe's going somewhere, but there's no Nexus to go to. This base is mined out. All of the bases are mined out. The Protoss is on the ropes, and that's a lot of Zerglings. Zergling Muta. Gonna work. Dark makes it work and takes the game. ShoWTimE having to tap out with no army, well, relatively no army, and no money in the bank. Down to 50 minerals and no Nexus close to a mining base anywhere. Very good game, very entertaining. Thank you guys for the recommendation. If you enjoyed, be sure to let me know down below. As always, I hope you guys have a great day. Thanks for watching.